If you haven't got the stomach for it, don't try to be a criminal, okay? A man grooms his female colleague into selling company secrets. The firm loses £4 billion and he panics so much that he calls the police, provoking the kidnappers who are now forced to silence him. From the shadows, the female colleague watches as he is abducted. She knows full well that she'll be next. After they flee, Zara finds a medicine bottle at the scene with a fingerprint. This could be a crucial bargaining chip. Bottle in hand, she climbs out the window to escape, only to run straight into Detective Kovacic. In fact, Kovacic and the police both suspect that Zara is involved, a fact they both tacitly acknowledge. While they lack direct evidence, their priority is to recover the stolen £4 billion pension fund and unmask the mastermind behind the heist. For now, Zara is being used as bait. Kovacic tries to pry information from her, but Zara refuses to budge. She flatly denies any connection to the case. Spinning a vague story, she claims Luke called her, sounding distressed as she came by out of concern. She claims she arrived to find blood smeared across the elevator. However, she conceals the fact that she witnessed the abduction and keeps the key evidence, the medicine bottle, hidden. Saying she won't cooperate, Kovacic decides to let her go for now, ordering her to report for a formal statement the next day. Searching Luke's room, the police find numerous photos of the pair. They were close friends outside of work. They spent almost every weekend getting drunk together. Back home, Zara was consumed by guilt. She stared at the photo of the two of them at a bar on the fridge, and her thoughts were pulled back to the night that changed everything. At the bar, Luke was venting his frustrations to her, railing against those bastards on the investment committee who do nothing all day. Yet they all pull in $1 million a year, and that's just their base salary. They can make another $1 million in bonuses on top of that. Compared to them, grassroots staff like us are just workhorses, making only 20 or 30 grand a year, grinding for 30 years just to earn what they make in one. At first, Zara just listened, not taking him seriously, but once Luke was completely wasted and they were in the bathroom, he finally let the secret slip. He'd run up a huge debt, and someone reached out to him online, saying that if he provided some internal company info, he'd get at 100 grand and never be caught. Zara Elliott asked him how they'd found him.
And where did you meet?
Live? Online.
Where? Online.
Playing Call of Duty. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, I get it.
Some people you've never met. You just happen to be playing the same online game, and you just happen to mention that they're interested in hacking a pension fund which you just happen to work for.
It's 100 grand.
You are being groomed.
They said they need 2 of us, which is why I'm asking you, do you want in, yes or no? They just want the information to hack into the company's accounts. The company will just assume it's been hacked, and they'll never suspect the 2 of them. At this point, Zara raises a critical question. Why does the other party need 2 people to provide the same information? Luke and Ida only vaguely suggesting it's related to the authentication process and system login permissions. Zara finds the whole thing suspicious and refuses on the spot. On the way home, Luke refuses to give up, relentlessly manipulating Zara until he brings up her mother.
No. You're gonna end up like, just like your mother. Fuck you now, you know? What? Fuck you, this strikes a nerve with Zara, and she can no longer contain her outburst.
She hits back, saying she'll apply for a transfer to the investment team on Monday. But Luke ruthlessly shuts her down, saying it's impossible. The higher-ups' views on her are set in stone in their eyes. Zara is just a nobody with a psychology degree from some second-rate university. Sure enough, after speaking with her boss on Monday, the manager showers her with praise for her rare talent in the logistics department, but ultimately he insists she should stay right where she is. These words cut Zara deep. She finds Luke and says she's in, but on one condition. She wants to meet them face to face, not just through screens and games. Once they meet, it's just as Luke described. The 2 of them only need to explain how the company's trading system works, hand over account and login info, and they'll pocket over 3 years' salary, and nobody will ever know. With her background in psychology, Zara notices a few red flags. Why haven't these people worn masks? Or used any disguise at all, exposing their faces to 2 complete strangers like this? This only proves that they don't care about showing their faces, which likely means once the plan succeeds, she and Luke will be silenced.
The point of this meeting was to get to know each other, build some trust. We couldn't do that. As if we turned up in disguises, could we?
There's going to be no victim in this crime.
Like I said, no one's going to get hurt, especially not one of ours. Promise me is this why they brought you along to provide the female reassurance. Zara had clearly seen through them. The leader told them to go back and think it over. Then he left. left. After stepping out, Zara happened to see the man from before, getting into a car. She immediately told her driver to follow him. Eventually seeing the man enter a house, she noted down the address and left. Little did she know this unnecessary move would put her life in grave danger. Meanwhile, Kovacic was notified by his superiors that My5 would send an analyst to intervene in the case. Kovacic was shocked, failing to understand why a closed case would alarm a national intelligence agency. Upon arrival, Finch made it clear he wasn't there to interfere, but should be viewed as a resource, with the shared goal of closing the case quickly. All technical assets and experts were at their disposal. After leaving the station, Kovacic went to a shop. He handed over an envelope containing £20, which turned out to be for his gambling debts. The boss warned him again that the balance must be paid within a week, otherwise he would sell the debt to someone else. People who aren't intimidated by his status as a cop. Kovacic looked grim. He knew this was no idle threat. He returned to the office to regroup with Darren and check on the investigation. According to Darren's findings, most employees' personal accounts show no financial irregularities or debts. Luke is the only outlier drowning in debt with 7 maxed-out credit cards. The investment committee members, however, are all squeaky clean after all. They draw 7-figure salaries with matching bonuses. With at least $2 million a year, it takes a junior staffer 40 years to earn what they make in one. Kovacic then asked about the trail of the missing $4 billion. Darren's request for assistance from the BDZ is still in the queue. The processing speed is suspiciously slow. It's clear the higher-ups aren't making this a priority. Darren wants to bypass official channels and use the back-channel methods he mastered during his time in the city. The findings won't be admissible as evidence, but it's better than sitting on our hands. Kovacic then asked about Darren's professional background. Darren admitted he was once a member of the investment committee, which is exactly why he chose to walk away.
Massive wages. But I prefer who I am now. At least I can look at myself in the mirror. Meanwhile, Sarah finds the pill bottle with the fingerprints at home.
She gets on a VPN to search for ways to extract fingerprints from bloodstains. After watching a tutorial, she heads to the pharmacy for the necessary supplies. Sarah just gets back from the pharmacy when Lucy shows up at her door with Finch from My5. Caught off guard, Sarah reluctantly lets them in. As they enter, she quickly stashes the fingerprint-laden bottle out of sight. While being questioned, Finch subtly scanned every corner of the room. While Zara was being interrogated, Kovacic had already tracked down her mother's house. Her mother bluntly admitted that she didn't know her daughter at all. The seemingly exhausted, aimless office worker is nothing more than a facade. She described her daughter as someone with a brilliant mind and a frustrated soul. She wouldn't be surprised even if she were told now that the entire robbery was masterminded by her daughter. It wouldn't shock her one bit. But when Kovacic asked her when she last saw her daughter, the mother hesitated for a moment, ultimately choosing to lie. She claimed they hadn't been in touch for months. After seeing Kovacic out, the mother seemed to have a hunch. She returned to the room and looked around suspiciously. Back to Zara, the police questioned her about why she stayed in the building for a full 10 minutes on the night of the crime. Zara's answers to these questions were full of holes. As the interrogation ended and Finch was about to leave, he caught a glimpse of the hydrogen peroxide and tape she had just bought in her bag. Then he departed. Once outside, Officer Lucy stated that Zara was definitely suspicious and must be put under surveillance immediately. But Finch disagreed, believing that even if Zara was involved, she wasn't the priority right now. The most important thing is locating Luke and the stolen money. There's no need to waste energy on such a small player. After the police left, Zara carefully studied the vial with the bloody fingerprint. She meticulously lifted the fingerprint with her tools, as if she had made up her mind. Meanwhile, Darren had tracked down the destination of some of the stolen funds.
Accounts, or where the money's been sent.
Too serious. A gold Simmons. But yeah, I'm pretty sure someone stole £4 billion worth of pensions and sent it to the offshore accounts of an arms dealer. They're not an arms dealer.
They're a defense contractor.
Every one of our fighter jets, missile systems. Yeah, right. So why would they take money from a heist? Kovacic told Darren about My5's involvement in the case. Darren replied that with My5's extensive resources, they likely had this information within 10 minutes of the incident. That night, the female officer approached Kovacic to report the afternoon's events. Finch refused to tell Zara. He believed that whatever Finch's motives were, their boss Nix was definitely in on it. He didn't seem to want the police getting anywhere near Zara. Kovacic immediately went to see Nix, but just as he was about to speak, Nix shot him a look and led him outside. Nix warned him that once the case was closed, if he wanted to keep his badge, he'd better find a reason to withdraw now, as he couldn't guarantee that anyone in charge would walk away unscathed, especially someone with baggage like Kovacic. Realizing Nix knew about his gambling debts all along, Kovacic saw the truth. He had likely been handpicked to serve as the scapegoat. Nix told him not to be paranoid, but made it clear that his debts would inevitably come to light. Meanwhile, Zara returned to the address she'd noted while tailing the man, found a keypad on the door, and just as she was at a loss, someone happened to walk out. She slipped inside before the door could close. In the gloomy darkness, she felt her way down a flight of stairs, and discovered a small room. Several computers were running inside their screens filled with scrolling data, as if executing some automated process. She glanced up at the surveillance camera, then placed the pill bottle she'd brought on the desk, a gesture meant to prove her loyalty. Just as she was about to leave, the man spotted her on the monitor.
What are you doing here?
The evidence is on the desk. Oh, I could have given it to the police, but I brought it here to you.
How did you get this address?
I just came here to tell you, Yunxi, that you can trust me. I'm not going to cause any trouble like Luke. I asked, how did you get this address? You know, sensing danger, Zara immediately turned and fled. No one seemed to follow.
But as she reached the intersection, a car pulled up right behind her. Fearing she was being hunted, Zara took off at a full sprint. She ducked into a shop using the cramped layout to her advantage, shook off her pursuers and hid in a basement. After a quick search, she found a pipe leading to the street level. She climbed out cautiously, and once back in the open, bolted down the street for 3 blocks before jumping onto a bus. She called her mother hoping to find a place to hide out, but her mother claimed she was on the night shift and told her to come another day. The two then agreed to meet tomorrow instead. But after hanging up, an eerie smile crept across her mother's face. Zara used a spare key to enter her mother's house anyway. It seemed as though her mother had been expecting her.
Going somewhere scared the shit out of me. You were at work, yeah. And I thought you were coming over tomorrow, not going out there anymore. I'm not stupid at all. A daughter who hasn't been in touch for months suddenly shows up.
Coupled with the breaking news on TV, it's all become crystal clear. Her mother saw the news. She even thought that the entire £4 billion was hidden inside that tiny hardware wallet. Her mother's motive is blunt. She doesn't care about anything else. She just wants the money. Zara tells her that without the password, the wallet is worthless. Mother counters that without the hardware wallet, the password is just as useless. Both sides hold equal leverage.
Mom, you're not getting £1 million. You'll just end up blowing through it, and we'll both end up arrested. Oh, can't understand. It's not. You've got to learn to trust me more. Well, considering you've done so much to earn my trust, it's clear from their exchange.
The mother has clearly done a lot to break Zara's heart in the past. The two eventually part on bitter terms. When Zara heads out again, she realizes she's being targeted once more, and someone is even tossing her apartment. While she hides by the roadside plotting her escape, a car suddenly pulls up alongside her.
You can.
Thank you. I feel like such a fucking idiot. I was trying to reason with them, give them a peace offering. Fuck.
Who's them? Who's them?
Thieves.
Sorry. Oh, see? I know. Happened. Unless that wasn't a thief trying to pick you up back there. Who else would it be? Oh, okay. Now, you see.